How are you, beautiful people? Welcome or welcome back if you're new here. I am very happy to see you here. Today we're going to talk about life on easy mode. How do we reach life on easy mode? How do we make our struggles go away? How do we make our life feel easy? How do we make our tasks feel easy? Well, I was reflecting about my previous life. Not really like that, but my previous life in England and my previous kind of cities and situations. Basically, I was working so much. I wasn't only working, but I was also studying. I had so much to do. And it felt like it was never ending. It felt like I could never feel rested. It's really funny to remember, actually. And I would get home and I would also avoid eating carbs throughout the whole day in order for me to have energy or feel awake. So I did everything I could to just be physically awake. And I tried to do everything to be mentally awake as well, even if my body was actually taking a very heavy toll. But anyway, and you know what I believed? Since that time, I always believed that I was going to have an easy life, that I was going to have a happy life. But not in the past tense, in the present tense. I always said to myself, I have an easy life. I am happy. I am so happy. And everything around me is just proving that. That is just proving that I am a lucky girl. But most of it, today I want to focus on the easy life. And how it's possible, even if you're going through something, if you're going through a hard time, it's possible for life to feel easy. Because there's also a spectrum of what easy is, right? If you're doing something very hard, but then you haven't really done hard things in your life, that just feels like it's crossing the border. But for you, if you're doing hard things your whole life, doing an extra hard thing is going to feel like nothing. So, yeah, I was doing hard things. But somehow life felt easy. And I kept affirming. I kept affirming and I kept doing the hard things, because don't get me wrong, it's important for you to do the hard things so you can have an easy life. But also, it's important for you to focus on the right strategy in order to have an easy life today. And how do we focus on having an easy life today? We focus on affirming, just like I did. Let me just see. Affirming today. I have an easy life. Everything that I do is easy. Life feels easy right now. And the power of affirmations and positive affirmations is that we feel more resilient about life in general. We feel more resilient about whatever comes our way. And because we believe that so deeply, we can see solutions, and we can feel what is right for us in order to, in this case, to have an easy life and to be at ease. And I think that psychologically, you rewire your own brain by reaffirming that every day. In 21 days, you can rewire your brain. So in 20 days, if you keep repeating it, by the end, you will have a different brain. And that's beautiful. That is science-based advice. And it's fascinating because we can have an easy life today. We don't need to wait for tomorrow. Even if maybe things feel a little bit hard. I think for me, I always felt like life was easy for me, but it took me 10 years for me to work 12 hours a week and be able to survive. But I think I just kept going, and I just kept seeing pockets of happiness. I kept seeing pockets of hope. I kept seeing the pockets of joy everywhere. Because whenever I felt discouraged, I found myself carving and getting some little joyful moments for me, because that's what I believed, that my life was wonderful, that my life was beautiful, even if maybe now I look at it and I don't actually grounded in reality. That wasn't so amazing, but for my experience at the time, it was amazing, and it was the most beautiful life that I could ever have at that moment. Because when you are happier, you are more resilient, and you can see, you can problem solve. And I keep going back to this lesson, because also when you are happier, that's what you're going to attract. You're only going to attract happy people and happy situations. But by changing the way you speak, by changing and affirming, I have an easy life. Thank you for this easy life. Thank you. Even when you are doing hard things, you're going to be more resilient. Because having an easy life is not necessarily not doing hard things, but doing the hard things because you have the time to do the hard things. Let's say playing an instrument. You would be lucky to have the time to play this instrument because you have an easy life. Because you can do hard things because you have time. So let's affirm. Let's keep affirming. Thank you for this easy life. And thank you for my beautiful life. Thank you, universe. Have a lovely rest of your evening, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And I know that you have an easy life too.